Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I would like to welcome you back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self, on TikTok, 1974 Lion Soul, and I'm also live on my Facebook. If you're new to my channel, I always recommend, encourage, and suggest that people read the description on my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit Teachings of Going Within Self, to get an understanding of what it is that I bring forward on my channel. Now, some of you are aware that, I talk about different topics. A lot of times I use my own life experiences, what have you. And today, getting ready to come on, is like, holy crap! I don't know my identity today. I don't know how many times I tried changing my clothes because I wasn't comfortable. And it's warm in here, so today I'm wearing a dress with a pair of shorts underneath and barefoot. And yes, I did lift my leg because I have a pair of shorts on. But it took a bit because I wasn't really comfortable in my own skin at that time. And I could hear my ancestors and my mom and them in spirit form saying, "No, we just gotta let her go, let her go. She's gonna figure out what it is that she's looking for." And this is what I found that was actually comfortable because it's hot in here. And and it feels good just being barefoot. Today I'm just kind of like, I've been seeing a lot with regards to Donald Trump and the things that he's doing, and people writing on their Facebook and what have you, and with regards to Trump being this savior and everything like that. But see, the thing is, you're not seeing the bigger picture. I got people that I know that are saying that, they think this states thing is a great idea and what have you, but it's coming to steal your resources. And, you talk about being a slave, well, it would just be a bigger one. I know a guy who was a farmer. His family was a farmer growing up, and he writes about Trump, but yet, a lot of the farmers that were in the MAGA, they're actually freaking pissed off. Because the farmers are being seen off, and then, they're making you go to all this other stuff. So it's that part of, you're by you doing that, you're actually contributing to the problems. Because this guy, his family was a farmer when he was growing up. He was a farmer, and then he worked in a mine, in like the gold place or something like that. And then that shut down. It's like, dude, what are you doing? Saying that you want him coming here because you think it'll give you a job? Not being rude, but you're out for like you have to be like, sometimes you be selfish, but if you're being selfish to the detriment of the people, then you're really selfish. And you do need to, like, go be with Trump, and until you realize, then you'll still cater to him. He did it. He did when Zelensky was there. He freaking bashed him the whole time and told him that if like that he's going to create world war. But like I said last night, how is he the one creating world war when he's the one trying to protect his own country? Donald Trump is the one who's trying to create world war. Because he's the one going into other people's countries and insulting them. And what's the thing with regards to his first visit to the Queen? The Queen thought him to be very rude, because I do have a video where They were there and they were going to, what was it? They were going to the guards, like to inspect the guards. And Donald Trump walked ahead of Prince Charles at the time. Like he was the one running the show. You know, you people are just enabling him. And then whenever he takes like has his little temper tantrums, because he does, like he downgraded Zelensky. I watched a lot of the interview, and Zelensky was trying to talk, and Donald Trump was talking right over him, telling Zelensky that Zelensky is the one. Zelensky is the one that should be calling a ceasefire. Well, shouldn't it be the one calling the ceasefire, the one who started the fucking war? I'll say it again. I had a Freemason tell me that Donald Trump signed the Islamic oath. Why do you think the destruction happened? Not long after Trump got out, and ended just before Trump got in. He tells you that he's the one stopping things. Is he really? I don't like him. I really don't like him. Because you think he's this great businessman. I'm telling you right now, go watch the Hopi. Go watch the thing with regards to the Hopi prophecy. Seriously, you might learn something. You know, you like to look in the prophecies of that here. You know, is that the white man prophecy? Just saying. Because the Hopi prophecy said that a man in the red hat was going to create chaos. He was going to bring different things in, but create chaos. Donald Trump sits here like this because people say it's a power stance. I can do it too. I actually do the different stuff. Doesn't make him any more powerful. He'll try bullying somebody. Not try bullying. He does bully people. You know, he's probably created so many problems that when he got the letter from King Charles about going to Windsor Palace again, yeah, he said that he had to make sure that the signature was real. And when I said yesterday, with regards to Zelensky, don't you stop? Wasn't because I want the fighting. Donald Trump that said that the world loves the United States and everything like that, and that the world is becoming afraid of the United States again. Seriously, does that not being afraid of the United States? Does that not mean that you're a fucking bully? Right now, I got like jumping all through my skin, and I just want to jump out of my clothes. I just don't want to be. I don't want to have any clothes on right now. I'm hot, I'm irritated, I'm agitated. And I hear like more people that are siding with like with regards to Donald Trump, and they're bashing other people's religion and thinking that Christianity is all of it. Depends on what Christianity you're looking at. Because the Christianity that I believe in is that I believe in the people. I said that, I know, like, I'm not all prim and proper, but I can be. And I can feel the attacks coming at me right now. And that's what makes it so sad. Like, yeah, do I have a problem with the way the monarchy is? Because people are starving and what have you, and they're sitting on like ship calls and stuff. And how many of you knew that Zelensky gave away all his money? Donald Trump, I challenge you. I like, I would love to see you give all your money to people. And I mean the stuff that you have in trust too, because you couldn't do it. And that's what makes you the opposite. The anti is the opposite of something. It's like Donald Trump likes to tell other people that they're stupid. So he's the bully. And there was an article where Eric Trump said about Prince Harry, and his drug use. I think you people might want to look in you might want to look in who they got in office. Seriously. Because you have no fucking idea what they do behind closed doors. They can tell you one thing and be doing the total opposite, because that's what they're doing now. Di sicurezza no sé. Spirits can actually feel the ones trying to attack. See, people go one side or the other. You don't know how to. You don't know how to be in the in between, so that you can see both sides of things. Each side has significant and good things to bring forward, but then they're usually fighting for their own interest. If you're far left or far right, or like I said, because I sit around and I see, and the the provincial government, the Speaker of the House, give a bunch of raises, 29%. I was actually figuring things up. And if, here it is. Okay. The 3-person panel composed of Executive Deputy Minister Tracy Tully and Kaylin Bean and Deputy Minister Jennifer Linney has made the following binding recommendations. Increase in annual indemnity payable to MLAs to $115,000. They went from $89,234 up to $115,000. That's how much of a raise they gave themselves, that they were given. Each MLA throughout Canada. So just for Nova Scotia alone, it was $25,000 for one person. They got a $25,766 raise. And I don't even have half that as an income a year. Am I jealous? No, I'm sickened. And you should be too. So the guest speaker, okay, she's a guest speaker. And I figured up her stuff, if this is the way it works. Well, as MLA, she got $25,766 raise. As the Speaker of the House for the PC party, she got $14,204. And then she got another increase of $39,970. Oh, sorry. Okay. So, no, she got another raise. That would have given her another raise because there was another $13,427, which gave her our total raise, if that's how it works out, of $53,397 a year for the 3 things that she's affiliated with. That's one person. So let's see. For MLAs, they get a year increase of $25,766. For the speaker, she got a raise of $14,204, which went from $49,046 up to $63,250. The deputy speaker went from $24,523 to $26,450. So he got a raise of $1,927. Then there was another increase for the leader of the opposition, which went from $49,046 to $63,250, another $14,204. See, they're giving themselves raises, and I figured out, okay, that for we'll start with October coming up in Canada or Nova Scotia or what have you, because each province works differently. By October, there's going to be the minimum wage is going to be $16.70. And you think of this person having a family, maybe one parent working, maybe a single home dwelling. Okay. At $16.70 an hour, the person working at an 8-hour shift, by 5 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. Their yearly income works out to $34,736. And this one woman alone got a raise of $53,397. See, they're greedy, and I do not understand how they are able to give themselves raises without it going through the people. You know, the leader of Recognized Party went from 24,523 up to 37,950. Which was 13,427. And then the premier went from 101,545 up to 115,748, which was a raise of $14,203 a year. And then there was a minister with a portfolio went from $49,046 up to $63,250, which was a raise of $14,204. Well, just that raise alone for the year was more money than what I get in a year. And then you want to tell me or tell people on assistance or a disability that they're the fucking problem? Seriously. Because it's not part of your fucking ignorant. You want to tell people that are on assistance or disability or what have you that they're the fucking problem. Meanwhile, the people that you are voting in are getting as much as a raise in 1 year that those people on assistance. Some don't even get that much a year. And you want to throw shade on them. You're sick. You got fucking issues when you do that. And you're fucking ignorant, and you are the problem with humanity. Because you don't see the true problem. Because you keep looking at people. Well, I'm here to tell you, my ex-husband pays enough taxes a year to pay for me to fucking live. So you don't pay nothing for me. And some of those people, they were people who were on assistance. And that's what makes it even more sickening. They'll shame other people for being on assistance. But they were on assistance themselves. It's that part of, why don't you go after the real culprits? Why don't you go after the ones that are really stealing from the people instead of attacking the other ones, the ones on assistance or on a disability? Attack me. I know that, whenever I get talking about something, the matrix pops in because nobody calls me any other fucking time. So seriously, and some of those people that are now on a disability or on assistance or on a pension or what have you. How do you fucking know that those people are paying taxes? Seriously, those people on assistance can't even afford a home. To rent one room, to rent a room in somebody else's home, you're looking at $900. That's just a room, an empty room. So it's that part of, it really sickens me that some people will come in and spiel shit and say about, the Nazi Germans and what have you, but then they'll back them. You'll say about Nazi Germany, but you'll back them. It's pretty sad. And you ought to feel foolish and ashamed of yourself. Because that's what the hypocrite is. Because those same people, they come in, I watched them. They'd say about Elon Musk doing the Nazi German sign, and people say, well, no, that was the Roman. The Roman and the Nazi German salute was basically taken from the same fucking thing. The Nazis took it from the Romans because the Nazis, Hitler, looked up to the Roman, the same as the British looked up to the Roman. So Donald Trump was kissing ass. And he's got no fucking respect for the royal family at all. Because he wants to be the king. And he wants to be the only king. Oh, everybody fears the states. No, everybody's laughing at the states. So do I like Donald Trump? Fuck you. Because the only person that he wants to make evolve is himself. And he wants to hold people back. Same as any other leader like him. There was comments saying that Zelensky was a dictator and what have you. Well, let's see, Donald Trump, you were fucking bullying Zelensky. Seriously. You weren't having a conversation with Zelensky. You were fucking bullying him, downgrading him, and insulting him and everything like that when he should have just hauled off right in front of everybody and punched your fucking orange face like everybody just says. And this here, see, Zelensky wasn't being ignorant.
and they just want to hear that America on our side.
With the reaction from Ukraine's ambassador on full display, while U.S. lawmakers praise their president.
Somebody asked me.
Zelensky wasn't being ignorant at all. And Vance, you're just, J.D. Vance, you're just as much of a fucking bully as Donald Trump. And maybe that's why he fucking picked you. I don't like you either. You go into Europe and you insult other people's countries. It's that part of, I'm going to tell you over and over again, have a fucking look in your own. You know, I walk around like where I'm at, and you don't see a lot of garbage. You see it thrown on the side of the road, which, you know, that's ignorant, and that's, you know, I'll say it. Pick up after yourself. Donald Trump says about, oh, America's great, make America great again. What? I want to see how you're making America great again, because everybody's boycotting you. And you think it's because they're jealous of you? See, people don't know what really goes on within the structure when it comes to war. What Zelensky's protecting his country, and what Donald Trump is pissed off because, you know, he made Vladimir Putin a promise. Bingo. Because I get a lot of card readers saying that, you know, hey, some people said that they could take certain people down, but they couldn't. And anybody who backs up the tyrants, the bullies, shame on you. Because you're not doing your children or grandchildren any favors, or your family members. People talk about the prophecy, whether it be the prophecy of the Bible or the prophecy of the Hopi, which, you know, the Hopi is pretty precise, because they even prophesize the man in the red hat. And who's the man in the red hat? And they didn't say that he came to do things good either. See, Revelation. Okay, let's go. It's John. Revelation. So we got 15 here. Seven bowls of the seven plagues, the harvest of the earth, the beast out of the earth. Spoke with the voice of the dread. Think of it this way. People say everything is inverted. So in the Bible, they're saying the inversion. Right? But is it going to be something scary that wins the people over? Seriously, up on my board, I have Revelations chapter 5, the seven seals. Well, the seven seals are the seven chakras, and that's what he was breaking, the seven demons. The seven chakras, the enlightenment. But people are too busy looking at that man and all like him. Even the mega ones that were in the mega, they're crying and wishing that they like regretting their vote. See, he's made so many fucking promises. And the ones that it's benefiting, well, they're happy with that. But that's the very few. The matrix is mad, so it's trying to interrupt. Just first that phone rang, now this phone's ringing. And I can feel it. And it's that part of holy snap in our souls. Like, I don't want to be around a lot of people. It's because a lot of us, are trying to figure things out. Does Donald Trump want peace? No. Donald Trump don't want peace. Because peace is not profitable to them. People said about Justin Trudeau sending more billions over to Zelensky. Well, Zelensky's right. If you back down to the bully, they're going to come in and try to take over Europe. And that's why Donald Trump is insulting. Because the only way he can win anything is by cheating. He kept telling Zelensky, you don't hold the cards. You don't have the cards. The cards aren't in your favor. Zelensky kept saying, this is not cards. We're not playing cards. Yeah, we are. We're playing cards. Hey, you fucking gambling man. Donald Trump, is that all you know how to do? Let's just say maybe you're playing a fucking game, a hand of cards, but maybe Zelensky's playing chess. Big difference between a card game. You can fucking bluff all you want in a card game. Life ain't a card game, you jackass. You are the fucking donkey's ass. Or wait, are you the donkey's ass or the fucking mule? Because I would love to see you do what Zelensky did and give all your money away. I know that, like, Putin's probably got something on you. You think that wearing a suit makes you important, makes you naive. Makes you a fucking poser because you hide behind your suit and you were the worst kind of businessman.
Me too.
You think your shit don't stink, but a lot of stuff's been going around saying, couldn't stand your own smell. Hey, I figure it should be okay for me to come in and insult you and other people to insult you because you fucking insult people like myself because you say we're uneducated. But we got more fucking smarts than you got. And I say because we are the people that know how to live with virtually nothing. But take your stuff away from you, and you'd be utterly insane because you wouldn't know how to live with your money and your materialistic bullshit. And it's that part of, yeah, Donald Trump, you're a fucking warlock. Big time warlock. And I am going to ask people like that say, oh, they're bringing out the stuff with regards to Epstein. It's all coming out. It's going to come to light. Yeah. Well, if it's going to come to light and it's all coming out, why haven't they put it there for the public to see the list? Why? Because Donald Trump is on it. And it's not just from, people say, oh, well, he did whoopie ding. He flew with Epstein. He didn't go on. You're fucking right. He went on that island. If Donald Trump had an epiphany of finding God, he wouldn't be concerned with making fucking money. And that's all he's concerned with. Is filling his pocketbooks and building his empire. But the empire is so that he and his buddies can make money. Do you know that when you go on these vacations and stuff like that, how many people have been killed? How many people are being kidnapped? How many young women and young men are being raped? Seriously. Pedophiles will go to these places, these resorts, because it's easy prey. Especially the countries where, with regards to, what is it called? Age of consent. I had a guy on POF. I even was talking to this guy on POF, and he wanted to know if I wanted to be with him, if I wanted to go be with him and pick up a 14-year-old girl. And you know, some people like they'll say, "Well, there's nothing wrong with that." Are you fucking sick? Like seriously, should I be asking you if you're sick, or should I just plain out note be telling you you're fucking sick? Oh, trying to choke me now. Hey, ask ex-partners how much I like that. Because I'll even put their hands there for them. Psychotic? No. Just prepared myself for the likes of you. For telling me where I'm looking, where I need to be looking. You know, here last year, I had a guy that I knew when I was a kid. He actually hang around with my family, my sisters and that, and people from around home up at the churchyard. And I was like 5 years old. Okay? I was 5 years old at the time that he was doing that, 5 to the age of 9. And he messaged me on Facebook and told me that he always liked me when we were going around at the church. That time I was between 5 and 9. He always liked me. And I said, well, no. I said, you must have me mistaken for my sister. No, he said, it was you. And I blocked him. And he has children. He had daughters. And it was so sickening that I damn near fucking threw up. I started crying. He was attracted to a 5-year-old. And Epstein was doing stuff. But Donald Trump, he always denies anything that comes up about him. He always denies it. Everything you say about him, he denies. Oh, that's lies. They're making up lies. They're making up lies. Well, if they're making up lies, why is all this shit coming to the surface? They're making up lies? You're always saying they're doctoring everything. Well, maybe you're fucking doctoring everything. Seriously. It's like, excuse me, dude. I have to ask, what's in your glass of Coke? Seriously. I'm allowed to ask that stuff because, you don't drink water. Even Joe Rogan, who professed and said that they would never endorse Donald Trump, endorsed him. So, hey, these people must be doing this because Donald Trump is blackmailing them. Because that's his tactics. But someone's like, oh no, Donald Trump, he's a great businessman. That's why he went bankrupt like 6-7 times, right? He's such a good businessman. A good businessman wouldn't even have to go bankrupt. So I guess you people don't know what fucking business is or what good management is. Because he's probably fucking robbing you blind and then going to disappear again. Probably stage his own fucking death. Like he did when he was Donald McGuinness. Just up and disappeared. What is it? The Barron Trump collection. I don't know. I have to say the picture looks a little bit like what maybe Donald Trump looked like when he was a kid. Aaron, what tumble did your father get you in, huh? I'm looking for the picture of him because I'm going to show you. And why am I showing you? Because people should know what the predator looks like. James Wong, I ended up finding out that he was a guy that lived out home where I'm from. And I now remember that he was the one that would come to a friend of mine would go there when he was younger, and he would sneak in her room. She was my age. He would sneak in her room. She thought it was cool because he was an older man. Because her father was an alcoholic, and he was a pedophile himself. How do I know that? Because he took me in a room and started kissing me. And that's where my cousin that had at me when I was 9, that's the places he would hang out. This guy here. He was the one that messaged me on POF and wanted me to go with him so he could hook up with the 14-year-old. See, this is stuff that your public officials should be sorting out, not giving themselves raises. Those raises should actually be going towards victims, towards actual mental health, and not just like covering it because it's through a fucking hospital. People like Donald Trump want to exterminate you. They don't want to do what's right for the people. They want to do what's right for the ego. And that's what makes them dangerous. So God, I keep coming in because it's not part of, when are people going to understand me here? You gave power to these people when you were never supposed to. So when it comes to that, that's when it's us who are to blame. They keep like, you can throw all the stuff you want at me, but just remember, what you throw at me, karma's a bitch. And even the one you seek the protection from, they won't even be able to protect you. If you're causing harm on someone else, eventually it's going to come back. Each time you try to inflict pain or cause harm on others, it stacks up. Ti si crea problema. Perché tu controlli tu risita. Excuse me. But hey, it's that part of, if you're preaching to inflict pain on other people because you think violence is the way, see, the one that's causing the one that is creating the problem, everybody else needs to step aside and say, here, because if you protect people like that, I'm going to tell you, you should be just as responsible because you're aware of it. You're an accessory to it. You're an enabler. And that's what you're doing with your leaders. You're enabling them. And then you're fucking hauling and screaming afterwards when you find out, oh shit, I just got fucked over and duped. And I can feel that in my heart. It's like, help. Boy, said I. Oh, wait. I can't take my heart because I wear my heart on my sleeve. And those same ones will say, bleeding hearts, bleeding hearts. Do you even know what a fucking bleeding heart is? I think it's somebody that complains about it. I didn't know. A bleeding heart is someone who feels it all. They're going to get to a point where they're boiling. You know, it's not about physically harming someone. As you know, maybe they'll rip the strip right off you. So do people think that I don't have people coming at me, and I know that I have people coming at me? Because finally, I had somebody realize that what I was saying was fucking true. Only, you know, it's not in the point of saying, oh, well, it's just spirit to spirit. But, you know, I call it jumpers. And I know when somebody has a jumper. And then that part of my spirit part that comes out and protects me from that jumper. So I tell people, you know, if you take offense to what I say, that's on you. But it's also that part of ask yourself, truly ask yourself why I said what I said. And then sit with it for a while. People say, oh, you walk away, you walk away. Well, you can only walk away from a bully for so long. You can only walk away from a jumper for so long before somebody actually just has to say, you know, I stand firm and I'm not taking the shit no more. But see, that's up to you to do that. Because really, the only one that's going to stop your bullies is you by standing up to the bully. Not physically harming them, but letting the bully see a little bit of himself. But in a way that they don't like to see. Or their behavior. Sila como tatay ana. Kuknito bing. So tutorial siya kasi no mo karay. Era kurviya sa pahaya kanino mo tuloy. Kiri buto ko pori resita. I will say, like, Melania shows her husband nothing, no affection. But, every other leader, she's fucking giddy and laughing around and flirting with. Donald Trump, are you selling your wife? Because, take it as an insult if you want, Melania. Were you sold to the highest bidder? Or, because your father was part of the Nazi? Because he was. I looked into it. See, this is the stuff certain people look into, but some people, they'll just come this, I want followers, so I'm going to give them what they want. I'm going to give them some juicy, but I'm not going to know fuck all about it. I just felt like somebody took a glass of water and just threw it in someone's face. Either that or they wanted to take my glass of water and throw it on my electronics so they'd fry. Oh, shit. Apparently that was the answer. I had a woman tell me that, if my ex-husband finds stressful, like, leave or what have you. But see, the thing is, that's the problem we're dealing with, abandonment. Because they feel abandoned. Because they're having a hard enough time dealing with their own shit, and they don't know how to work through it. And then everybody abandons them. Because they give up on them. What if it was like, what happens when you feel somebody's given up on you? What do you do? Seriously. Because I tried to take my own life a few times because I felt unwanted. I felt wanted when I was useful. But when I was no longer useful and set boundaries, I was the problem. I had issues. In actuality, I was never the one with the issues. It was others who had issues and reflected it on me because they didn't want to do their own inner work. And I can feel all of the attacks coming in. It's like, thank you. Because it shows me my strength. See, I walk with God. I walk with Spirit. I walk with Divine. And I walk with Source. Not only do I walk, but I work with them. Because I allow them to show me versions of myself. Even the ones that I don't like. But I would love to see, your leaders do that. Because obviously, Zelensky, if he gave all of his wealth away, then he actually saw the light that it's not money, but he gave his money to the people. And Donald Trump, you just want to say, oh, well, I didn't take the 400 and some $1,000. No, you didn't take it directly from where the people see you getting it from. But behind their back, you were actually fucking stealing from them. Because that's what men who work in the form of, we're pulling a hand of cards. And you think you're the Trump all the time. I'd much rather a wall card. Like a wall card, they may be unpredictable, but they do know how to win when it counts. So, Trump, you only know how to play cards. And it doesn't take a brain to play cards. It takes a bluffer. Someone who can bluff their way through. Not someone who's truly strategic. Because that's what a game of chess is. Just to go down the day. You're one of those ones that would put the pawns going first. You wouldn't bring your big guns out until all the pawns were gone. And that's it. Because you sacrifice people to save yourself in that sense. King just sits there and sits on its throne and expects everybody else to protect him. When everybody should actually be setting him in Senate court to be judged like he should be. You thought it. Oh, yeah. In all honesty, I'd rather be looked at like I'm a psychotic rage lunatic than be a narcissistic, manipulative move. I say that part of I'm not a wolf, I'm not a sheep. But you put a donkey in the field with the animals. And that donkey will go after the wolf to protect the sheep. Maybe stubborn, but it has a sense of humor too. As far as stubborn, they protect their family from the wolves like you. Go watch Evan Almighty. Donald Trump is like that senator. As long as there's money involved, you don't care how many corners you cut. As long as it benefits him. And all like him. Because even the wolves in that movie turned on him. Because then it was affecting their reputation. Elemente trochu šveha, rejestra, ai. Putaria. Donald Trump, recite, like, tell me something that you know from the Bible. No, except why should he think? Well, he says he's God. He says he believes in God, but he classes himself as a king. He says Jesus is great. Well, if Jesus is the great one, then why the fuck are you saying you're the king? See, he doesn't say that. He says that Jesus is more well known than him. That's what he says. But see, people don't catch that because the only thing you caught was the words Jesus. He would be the one that would kill Jesus so he could be on the throne. Do you get it yet? I still think that there's I watched the movie Face Off, Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Watched that a long time ago. It was because somebody was trying to steal someone's identity. So, drugged them, stole their face, and left them for dead. And now they're looking for their face. Seriously. People say about the psychos out there. And see, the best place for those psychos to hide is in power. Performing gender surgery. They don't want you to see what they're doing themselves, so they want you going after others. So you can't see the truth about them. Seriously. This is stuff they don't teach you they don't teach you about in school. Why would they? They don't want to teach truth. They only want to teach you how they were victorious. and you send your children there. Google Scholar. That was brought to my attention. I watched a video of a man explaining different aspects of mental health. And if you truly want answers and you don't want to get messed up in all this bullshit statistics and stuff like that, that, goes to fit their agenda, not what's actually true, go to Google Scholar. It's like coming out of the mainstream propaganda parts, which, these people that are writing shit about like the other opposite side, and they're doing it to each other. And it's that part of whatever rabbit hole you go down, they keep you going down that rabbit hole. And until you realize what's happening, they'll keep sending you stuff like that. And then you can't see the other side to figure out. Seriously. Believe me or don't. My channel's not for everyone. And it's surely not for the ones that are. And it's not ready. It's not for the ones who are not ready to see both sides. It's not a channel for those who are not ready to see themselves. I can feel that every time that someone tries to attack me or, put their shit on me. It's like, here, you carry my cross. It's like, here, no, you carry your own fucking cross, because Jesus should have been carrying your cross for you. You should be fucking carrying your own. Showed a video of one man of color, which doesn't matter. That's what they showed on the video. A black man helping. They showed on the video a white man carry his cross, and everybody else stood around and watched. And those were the crosses. Those were the ones that said that they were his followers. It's like some friend. Someone say that to me because something happened, and someone almost tried to run them off the road. They told me. Well, it's that part, in that instant, it would have been worse. And something worse could have happened. But see, for those people, I still stand up for them. When people talk about them, still stand up for them. When I seen the video the way Donald Trump was shooting down Zelensky and not letting him get a word in edgewise, him and J.D. Vance teamed up on him. That's two fucking bullies. Like Zelensky, by looking at him, he was probably fucking shorter than me. And they tower him. They fucking belittled that man. And they say they're of God. And no, they're not. They're far from being of God. Maybe the God they worship. The one they go to so that they can be wealthy. Donald Trump gave his speech in front of the Queen and everything like that, and how great she was. I'd say a lot of people's great. But see, you're trying to commit treason on the Queen's country. Seriously. A message to King Charles. Grow a set of balls. You might be old, but you still got some fucking spunk. Let's see. How old is Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is
78
years old.
How old is King Charles?
Charles III is 76 years old.
So King Charles, you're 2 years younger than Donald Trump. Yes, he is. Because Donald Trump is 78 and King Charles is 76. See, I always thought that, the king, because it was like with Jesus, the only one that Jesus would have to answer to was Father, right? God. Everyone said he was king, so he would only have to answer to God. So my question is, King Charles, not throwing shit and shade on you, but why are you fucking answering to that man? We all know what's been different things that have been happening and going on. So, with regards to stuff like this, with them allowing Donald Trump to bully them, my overall question is, what is it that Donald Trump has over your head? And Donald Trump, what is it that Putin has over your head? Because, he did pass the ball to you. When he passed the ball to you, it was, hey, you can do as I say, or I'm going to expose you. Because Putin worked in security. So if Putin worked in security, wouldn't he know this shit? Wouldn't he know? Like, is he putting Trump, who's the spy? Because one of them is. You don't see much about Elon Musk now going on to TikTok. But you watch, I just said about Elon Musk. So it'll start coming up on my feed. You know, I watched the video where Donald Trump and Melania and Monica was there at Windsor Place when we had the banquet. And the three of them appeared very uncomfortable. You know, the way Donald Trump humiliates people. Hey. Can a convicted felon enter the UK?
According to Unlock, those seeking permission to enter the UK will normally be refused if they have previously been convicted of a criminal offence punishable by at least 12 months imprisonment.
Well, that didn't answer my question. Countries a convicted felon will be refused. Okay, thank you. As a felon, Donald Trump can no longer travel to 38 countries. Let's see what they are. Okay. Let's see what they are. Oh, shit. Let's see. Oh, I'm sticking to my chair. And I look like Urkel. Like I got my right up here. That's my crawl. And the way I'm sitting. Umatari Siriana. Ridore. Wala ba niya siya? Hanaing. Kita. Sikunoto te o. Electroya. Siku. I said it was like okay. Let's see. Okay, as a felon, Donald Trump can no longer travel to 38 countries. Donald Trump was found guilty in the hush money trial, making him a convicted felon, which now may affect his ability to travel. And then my question is, like, you know, how did he even get in fucking government? Especially for hush money. Hush money is blackmail, jackasses. Do you not get that? Sorry. But I'm not sorry at the same time. Because a jackass is a stubborn donkey. I may be stubborn, but I'm not fucking thick. Countries globally have strict entry requirements to protect residents and maintain national security. Related, Trump found guilty in hush money case, sentencing set for July. They said that he did. Somebody said that he didn't get anything wrong because he gave hush money. No, and I'm not just talking about what he was being sentenced to. I'm talking he was giving hush money, giving hush money for the justice system to shut the fucking trap and not do anything about it because he got shit on them. You know, why do you think he likes to stack the deck? The cards aren't in your favor, is what he says. Because you stacked the deck. Because you manipulated the circumstance. You know, if he got became a convicted felon for hush money. You don't think that he's still doing it? Seriously. How fucking naive are you? Citing the World Population Report, Newsweek. Okay. Oh. The G7 nations, Canada. Citing the World Population Review, Newsweek reported that G7 nations, Canada, United Kingdom, and Japan have policies restricting entry to people with felony convictions. Israel and China also enforce similar bans, and these rules can result in the denial of visas or entry permits to convicted felons, possibly impacting the Republican presidential fortune ability to travel internationally, according to Newsweek. Now, didn't Donald Trump's son, Donald Jr., go to Greenland because Donald Trump would actually be denied entry into Greenland? So he had to send his son to do his bidding for him. Seriously. Watch live press conference after other things to know how after hush money conviction. We'll go to that. Based on data from the World Population Review, the following countries, and people say, you'll say, oh, well, you can change. People change. Yes, people change, but he hasn't. He uses that shot in the ear as an excuse to tell you, oh, I found God. But the only thing he found was another way to profit, because that's when he brought in the televangelist. But he brought in a televangelist, but shot down and said that the pastor for his inauguration needed to apologize for what she said to him, for what she said. Sit with that, people. He caters to a woman who sits up there and stands up there and criticizes people and says, oh, if you stand here with me, you're standing in holy land, holy ground. Give me your energy, everyone. Don't forget to leave that 10% of your income before you leave, because I'm on TV and I gotta make a profit. I need my fancy car. I need my big house. It's ones like those that give a bad name and a bad reputation. You got these mega churches, but every other regular church, you hardly see anybody in it. I went to the church, and I might have seen two young people, except for like a few that were up there with the fire. So you're teaching your young people, your children, to be biased. Like, yeah, everybody everybody believes the way they believe. Yep. But my question is, how the fuck is that working as a population? People say about statistics. Oh, these big statistics. There's fucking 8 billion people in the world. Seriously. What interference are they throwing in? Like, you got a mouse in the lab rat. You got a lab rat. And you put it in a maze and put it in with other mice that, they're all trying to survive. And you don't give enough for everything. You know, stun on purpose, people. If you haven't realized that yet, oh, fuck, man, are you at that? Here's a full list of those countries with both criteria. What countries don't allow convicted felons to enter? Argentina, Australia, Canada, China, Cuba, India, Iran, Israel, Japan, Kenya, Nepal, New Zealand, South Africa, Taiwan, United Kingdom, United States. How the fuck is Donald Trump in his own country? Oh, wait, because he's convicted. But how is he legally able to go to the United Kingdom? And he seemed more nervous than excited. Because, see, is it actually an invitation? Or is it just, but it's not an invitation. Because he didn't seem very excited. Sick of that people. Because the video that was rude. I didn't mean to close it. I meant to open it up and I closed it instead. I feel like getting a cushion across my legs. I got shorts on. You see some women standing up and doing things with just a bra on and a bikini. So what's the difference if you have a skirt on and a pair of shorts? It's like, well, you say you can be prim and proper. Well, who says I'm in my prim and proper right now? I'm just in my wanting to be comfortable phase. I like everything sticking. Oh. Wow. That's a little better. At least now we're not sticking. Sit in the middle. Rising up. Good song. Oh, come on. Sweet. And right now it just brought up Ellen DeGeneres, whatever her name is. And it's showing pictures from the past of what these people look like. So, hey, you know, I even showed people the resemblance of such the close resemblance of shit like place. And decide what club we want to join. You know, people think that there's only male Freemasons, but there are actually female ones too. Here we go. We'll show this video. This was the meeting that there when in 2018 and 19 or what have you, when Donald Trump, Melania, and Ivanka first went to the palace, the banquet. Okay, they look pretty fucking nervous. So it's just gonna play music. But watch the behavior. He's sleeping. He looks pretty nervous. See, you know that Donald Trump, he really uses the Queen of King. He probably sort of see that gone because then he could take the place. I'm allowed to snap stuff like that. You know, this whole platform, there's different versions of each thing. In some videos, Doug Ford looks thinner and he's Got his shirt on button down here. And that's when he's in the video where he's saying about, oh yeah, I love Donald Trump. And then in another video, looks heavier, and he's saying that, oh, I wouldn't go for him. So when I see stuff coming up on Facebook, yeah, everybody can have their opinion. But it's not part of, because you have your opinion, don't shoot down the other side because they have theirs. Because there maybe there's something you're not. Because somebody who is actually seeing and awake, they're seeing what both sides are doing. See, was Biden, Obama, or any of them, Hillary Clinton, or Bill Clinton, or Bush? Don't you see the pattern? Seriously, Hillary Clinton did a video where, oh yeah, he would make a great president. Donald Trump would make a great president. And then when it came time, oh, she was against him. He was a chauvinist. And everybody said, well, what she was. Oprah Winfrey, same thing. Told Donald, right on an interview, yeah, you should go for president. You'd make a good president. But then when he went for president, it was the opposite. Does Donald Trump have stuff on other? Oh, fucking right he does. But see, he also sees where his own shit is, and that's what he's trying to hide from people. Because he acts a whole holier than now, like he doesn't do no wrong, and others will say, oh, Donald Trump's never did a damn bad thing in his life. Are you fucking sure about that? My question is, like, you had, what are they? Amish. Said, oh, the Amish come in to vote for Donald Trump. They come in to vote for Donald Trump. Who was scratching whose back? Not being rude, but, they're great builders and everything. But did they get misled by Donald Trump? Or was it deal making? Because, I just haven't feel it. Because they figured, the uneducated ones. They figure, you learn at home. Well, because parents aren't educated, then they don't do nothing. So he would play on them. And what I need to say is, like, the ownership, I would have to say that they'd be good businessmen and women. Because women were doing more of the medicinal and herbs and broadly, stuff like that. too when I see the Amish women. Not being rude, but you never smoke. So, it's much like, I said, my channel's not free, but it's much like if you look at the Muslim community. The Muslim community is more about, like, you can only marry into the Muslim community, you can't marry outside there. And, and with the Amish, a lot of people say that the Amish married their cousins. So, I'm allowed to ask the question, like, are the Amish Muslims? And that would be the case, then Donald Trump is playing both sides. He likes to be Trump. He'd like to be Trump with every suit, right? C'est là que tu mulher, c'est que tu podes nada. They said about the Pope at Christmas Eve. I believe it was Christmas Eve or what have you. It said that he opened a room area, and now he's on his deathbed. Think of back when they had the Ark of the Covenant. If one's come around that had bad intentions and wasn't accepted, what happened? They died, right? Ill intent. Wanting to manipulate and use their wrongdoing to cause harm. Seriously. And I just heard someone say, no, it's psychotic. At least I have different facial expressions. And, you have no fucking idea what I'm feeling in my body. Because right now I'm feeling one fucking massive expansion in myself. Especially in my head, and that's when it guys. See, it's that part of when are people going to stop preaching that Jesus died on the cross for your sins? I'm serious. He should never have died on the cross for your sins. He should die on the cross for someone else's sins. And the crucifixion, well, it's ostracizing again, that's crucifixion. Mocking you, laughing at you, picking on you. You know, Jesus could have fucked you all up. People take advantage of other people and expect them to the cats to fall from them. And that's what I respect. And I don't care if religious people don't like what I say, or Christians don't like what I say, or Catholics, or Islam, Muslim, Protestant, Lutheran, Catholic, Baptist. I don't give a shit. I'm not throwing shade on your religion. I'm asking the question of why did you all figure that he should have been killed? So part of like saying that somebody else died for your sins, so you keep doing the same thing over again because oh well, Jesus died for my sins. So every time you sin, Jesus got to die for that sin, right? Well, now maybe Jesus said that, and that's why you're wearing your own shit. You need to look at it, and it looks good on us all, including like the ones that were the followers, but did nothing to say. So what? We went around saying Jesus died for our sins. Jesus loves you. Jesus died for our sins. Jesus was killed on the cross for your sins. Jesus was crucified for you. Yep. That's why I keep saying, why does Jesus have to come and save you? Didn't he do enough for you? But you're still expecting him to come and save you? Dying on the cross for you wasn't enough? Seriously. That to me, that would be the biggest sin of all. God can't save you unless you're ready to save yourself. You know, right now, what I feel is somebody really fucking hurt me. I just like wondering how people could do that to one another. That was a test. He thought he was God and he left God to die. There's your fucking Sunday school. There's your church. Right now, I feel like I'm connected to somebody who just wants to start fucking shit. So don't anybody ever come up to me and ask me if I believe in God or if I believe in Jesus, because I will tell you to go fuck yourself. Because I'm a full-blown believer. Ito po ano. Ito po tuloy. Ito to. Ito po siya. Ito po siya. You want healing? Start fucking going immediately. Don't. Then get the fuck out of the way that means it to you. Most people never run far enough on their first win to find out if they've got a second. Give your dreams all the energy that comes out of you. Oh, okay. Now I know. I know why this come up. Because on the back, it's written on here. I know who wrote it. Why you're angry with everyone and everything. Tim Thatcher. T. What? Fletcher. TLETCHER. And then it's called this. It says this explains why both people exhibit same emotional symptoms. But I can tell you, it's because you have empathy and you're connecting with one another's spirit and you're feeding off it. So that's what it is. Last week I actually painted. I can mark on my desk with chalk now. I turned the top of my desk into a chalkboard. No, a lot of people don't think of that. Winning isn't everything, but the will to win is everything. If you can believe it, the mind can achieve it. The message from the universe. New beginnings. All of this actually resembles like more what I just spoke about. So envy, trapped in fear, the shadow, which is the double pope. I just got done talking about the pope. New beginnings and solitude. I'm going by what I see of the cards, whether it means that through that or not. Right? I'm going like what I get. Okay, because a lot of us right now we're sitting we're sitting in solitude. We're sitting in isolation and just sitting with ourselves. And when you start sitting with yourself, kind of everything starts coming to light. So when something happens, it's like when something happens, it's God's way, Spirit's way, or it's your own body's way of saying, sit with me. Sit here, just be with yourself, be with spirit, all parts of you. And people don't like that word spirit. Well, heck, I don't like the word mental health either. But spirit is what creates mental health. So you go in solitude, and when you sit and you're in solitude, you start seeing yourself, you start bringing things forward. And when you start bringing things forward, it's almost like you become trapped in your fear, because the fear are the shadows. The fear is what doesn't want to be seen. It wants you to live in fear, but it doesn't want you to face the fear. Right? So the Pope, on Christmas Eve, when he opened that, he had to face a version of his shadow. And by facing that version of his shadow, is he going to make it through? Because, it's when you're going and you're doing that shadow work, it's not easy. And in some cases, it can become like it's an overwhelmed feeling like, are you going to make it through? It's like an exorcism. Your body starts exercising itself. I said before, I come to exercise your demons. But see, I have to teach you how to do it for yourself. Because in the end, truly, you're the only one who can defeat those demons. And the demons are your shadow work. Sometimes you can bring into existence something that can help you, and then you're left wondering, well, what just happened there? How'd that happen? When you do the shadow work, that's when God gives you the miracles. Spirit gives you the miracles. You give yourself the miracles through the manifestation. Because you tap in to everything. You tap into that aspect of God. You become a child of God. Whether you're a son or a daughter. Because a child is one that is always learning. We teach our children. We shouldn't just be trying to teach our children. We should actually be learning from our children. Because the children are like our shadows. And it's becoming the adult trying to protect itself. So it has like a little fit. Someone didn't like saying that because the shadows they're versions of ourselves. And we're like, instead of being like having an adult conversation, it's one that, that other person can understand, whether it be a child, because children can understand more than what we give them credit for. You just have to put it in your terms. They try to put their stuff in adult terms, but because we're adults, we tend to think that, well, they don't know nothing. In a lot of cases, because they're our shadows, they see more than we did. They just don't know how to explain it or express it in a level that we can understand. It's like, you don't want to go down to their level? Why not? What are you afraid of? Why are you so afraid you might learn something from your child? Your child is Hope. Hope is at the bottom of Pandora's box. And she got put there because of this deception and envy. Because every time Hope tried to rise and show her authentic self, or his authentic self, the ones of deception and envy would try pushing them back down into the shadows. Shadows are around here. Envy and deception comes from here because you envy what someone else has, which is the heart envy. And you feel deceived through the heart because you feel unwanted and unloved and abandoned. Well, that's what your inner child feels. So your inner child is pushing up. And is that the deception and envy? It's working through it and it's screaming out. So like a people eye. Like the kid having the temper tantrum. It's like, damn you fucking project me. Or I'm going to have a conniption fit and then you'll be taking responsibility for my actions. And then new beginnings, once you work through that and you see it for what it is, then you start speaking your truth. You start speaking your authentic truth. You start, because you're no longer trapped in that fear. Because you're pushing your way up. And you're speaking. They say, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Well, the only reason why they do that is because they don't want you to see what they're doing. The shadows don't want you to see what they're doing. The two-sided Pope don't want you to see what it's doing. They said that you have a light Pope, And the Black Pope. Which one's on their deathbed? Right now, I feel like there's just stuff, like energy just shooting right out of my hands. Woohoo, man! And that's how I felt one day. I just felt like it was just like shooting right in the air. So people will, like, you live in the shadows, so you can't be seen. And then sacrifice. And sacrifice to me would be like, sacrificing it all, like, what Zelensky, he did. He sacrificed, gave everything, because it opens you up to something better, because it shows that you don't give a shit about the materialistic things, the monetary things, because then it becomes that part, love, family, and more important, and then the rest of the abundance starts coming in, because it's no longer what's important. So with that being said, I'm sending you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting you into the season. I want you all to be grateful, right? Most importantly, for yourself. Be your authentic self. Be true to yourself. Be kind to yourself. True and kind to others. And know that you have more strength than you can. So you may sit in a spot where you feel like you can't do it. But hope not. Sending you all love.